I start realizing some things that the quote, the dream, the materials, the money, the fame, all that stuff, it was a lie. The money, it's gonna bring me joy. It's gonna bring my family closer. It's gonna provide. It's gonna take us places we've never been. You're right. It did take me some places I've never been, but not the places I thought I'd be going. The money ruined me. The money bankrupted my soul. The money, tore wedges in our family. I mean, you think you need the big house, you need the 74 cars, you need to have millions in the bank, you need to eat at the finer places in life. And that's what's gonna make you happy, but it doesn't. Born in Brooklyn, New York, BK. My dad was never there. He left when we were way young. My mother, she died when I was 9 of AIDS. Getting drafted in the NFL, for like any kid that's, fighting against all the odds to make something in their lives, first thing you think of is, security for your family. You want to be on posters. You want your own playing card. You want your own shoe deal. You want your own shoe. You see Michael Jordan on Wheatie boxes. You're winning gold medals. So, I mean, that's what you're thinking about. It's a dream come true. Phil Williams, I got kicked out of Georgia Tech, for grades. And, at this point, I had a bunch of different agents calling, people trying to get me with them. But when I got kicked out of school, Phil was the only person there. I remember him telling me, that if I just trained for you, I'd still be drafted. So, I believed him, we went from there, and it was true.
He trained and was drafted in the 3rd round by the St. Louis Rams and thought that his dreams had come true. And came to realize later that those dreams were not all that he brought along with it, things that he didn't anticipate.
All of a sudden, I was told to be a grown man. There's really nobody guiding you along the way, telling you, helping you make good decisions. I was only 20 years old. I didn't know what to do. I was just doing what I normally do, and it wasn't working. I met Phil when I was 19. It was my sophomore season at Georgia Tech. His family became like my family.
He came into my life and the life of my family. Everything I knew about him and could see was that this is an incredible athlete with energy that you rarely see. And a charisma, just a natural personality of a really good person, a really good kid.
My second year in the NFL was when things really started, becoming a problem. And I started drinking. And that was the beginning of the end.
Money, success, fame, it does things to people. It tends to center everything on the individual. It becomes me, me, me. The Tony that we knew in our family for the year before he was drafted started slipping away a little bit.
Once again, I'm this big, strong athlete, football, NFL football star, to do this. And I ended up sitting in someone's basement for days, snorting cocaine. All kind of stuff started happening. People were saying I went AWOL, and at that point, my supposed dream turned into a nightmare.
When Hargrove left the team, didn't report for practice for 2 days. That's right. MIA. There's Anthony Hargrove now, finally getting back in the mix this week.
Tony, he started running. I knew something was wrong, but he was lying to me. He had gotten into the alcohol, marijuana, coke. We all come into life with baggage. When success, professional success met that baggage for Tony, there was an explosion really in his life, and it was a downward spiral.
All I wanted to do was run. At that point, I realized, what drugs and alcohol were doing to me. It was taking football away from me.
When Tony started having success and money in the NFL, it did start to change him some. There were late night calls, 2, 3 in the morning. At first, even though the phone number would say it was from Tony, I'm listening to this voice on the other end. Who is this? It broke my heart.
I got traded that season to Buffalo, and which I thought was the answer to my prayers. You know, okay, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. You know, I can go somewhere else and I can start over. But slowly and surely, you know, the football started getting pulled away. I got suspended for 4 games for failing another drug test. I looked at myself in the mirror, you know, and I was just skinny, loose body, you know, eyes just black, you know, with no life. I realized, you know, I had to do something different. I remember just sitting there and just going to God, you know, and just being, and please help me, you know, get me out of this nightmare, you know, and I entered treatment. I made a decision, you know, I told God, I said, if you're real, I give you 3 months to work. So that's it. I said, in 3 months, if I don't feel better, I'm not happier, I'm going back out, you know. And at this point, it wasn't even about football anymore. It was about life. I started doing some reading. I started praying. I started meditating, you know. I started, you know, admitting to myself, you know, that I had a problem. I was no longer just letting other people work it for me. You know, I was finally, okay, I'm gonna take some initiative and I'm gonna do these things. And I started going to meetings, and I really started getting involved, and I started feeling better. I started getting healthier. I started putting on weight. I started doing some more work, and then I really started getting out and starting to talk to people, and you know, to try to help people. You know, and that is one of the biggest rewards, is to go out and like to try to help other people. The money, the fame, I mean, it means nothing. If you could just put your ego aside and really just see, I mean, like, really, what are my dreams? Is it just to be rich and famous? Or is it to make a change in this world? I know what the true joys are, you know, and that's people and helping people.